I used to say rule of thumb all the time. Hey bro, how much protein you eat? My rule of thumb is like 2 pounds of animal flesh a day, brother. Teenage me using terminology like a much older man. Like it came baked in. I still say it sometimes. But after I learned what it meant, it changed. The phrase probably traces back to an old law that allowed men to beat their wives with a stick, as long as it wasn't thicker than a thumb. Origins are weird. Sometimes they're coded in mysterious language, other times they're pretty in your face, like wife beater. An object that starts internet fights and gets me stared at in grocery stores, though that might just be the post-leg day wobbles. This is a review of a shirt, but not just any shirt. It's the only piece of clothing that I've owned that makes me wonder if I should say its name out loud. So, what do we do with a shirt like that? Do we throw it out? Rebrand it? Or keep calling it what we've always called it? In 1947, a man in Detroit killed his wife. He was photographed in a dirty white-ribbed tank. The paper called him the wife beater. The nickname stuck. Pop culture did the rest. Brando sweated. Pacino robbed a bank. De Niro bled. Bruce Willis saved Christmas. The tank top became cinematic code. Anger, heat, class, shame. Masculinity sweaty and half-formed. The name didn't come from fashion, it came from violence. And so it seemed the world just rolled with it. Cancel culture gets brought up a lot these days, usually by people who think their words are under attack. But this isn't about punishment. It's about proximity, precision, intention. We cancel words before we ever ask, where did this come from? Why did it land so hard? And what are we supposed to do with it now? Because the name stuck, not because it was clever, but because it fit a little too well. So what do we do with a name like that? Do we throw it out? Do we rebrand it? Keep calling it what we've always called it? Do we say it louder just to prove we're not scared of it? Do we whisper it like it's a slur we forgot was still a slur? Or do we do the one thing nobody wants to do online anymore? Just sit with it. "13 weeks into a diet." My favorite social media app is Yelp. I live vicariously through strangers eating at places I want to go. Not because they have good taste, that's kind of unlikely, but because they feel compelled to document every bite like it's their civic duty. It's oddly moving. People willing to spend 5 minutes crafting an essay about a breakfast burrito that was too confident for its own good. Here's something I learned. Yelp hides reviews from users who don't post enough, as if we're all supposed to be running some sort of restaurant critique side hustle. And that right there democratizes the rating system. It favors the people with the most opinions, the loudest, the most persistent, and if that isn't a perfect analogy for cancel culture, I don't know what is. Here's a 5-star review I found from a place I'll probably never eat at. If your cook is wearing Crocs and a wife beater, you know the food's gonna be fire. A sentence that has no right being that good. And a reminder that the internet isn't always angry. Sometimes it's just vibing. So where does the internet actually land on the name wife beater? Depends where you look. Plenty of folks think it's time to retire the term. It trivializes something serious. Why would you want to say that? It makes light of domestic abuse. You wouldn't call a scarf a child neglector and think that's fine. It was never a compliment. The fact that it stuck is the problem. All of these are fair. You say it out loud and the room goes still. Not a great sign for a garment. But how about the keep it crowd? It doesn't seem like they actually love the term either, but they use it anyway. In a 1998 study, teens claimed the term was ironic, mocking the behavior of the shirt's stereotypical owner. Nobody says a shirt. That's a Sears catalog term. You say wife beater and people know exactly which tank you mean. It's not fashion, it's shorthand. No one seems to be defending the meaning, but they are defending the function. It's specific, it's cultural, it's sticky. In a weird way, the people still saying it seem the least annoying. So here's my take. The more I learn about this, the less I want an opinion. Like most divisive topics, certainty gets my guard up. So, instead of a stance, I'll offer a story. Mine. Here's something else I just learned. The term master bedroom. Likely rooted in the language of ownership and dominance. Some say it came from the 1920s Sears catalogs. Others link it back to the antebellum South. Either way, it's a title that never asked for consent. And these shirts, they've had other names too. Dago tee, Guinea tee. Slurs dressed up as garment tags, aimed at Italian immigrants working hot, brutal jobs, sweating through cotton while building the cities we now take credit for. Risky to say that out loud? Maybe. But good news, I can't get demonetized if I was never monetized in the first place. Originally, the tank top wasn't even meant for men. It started as swimwear for women in the 1910s. A single-piece, sleeveless suit that showed their arms. Eventually, it crossed over into undershirts, then soldiers wore them, then mechanics, then movie stars. Somewhere in there, it seems to have gotten weaponized. And now, here we are. Forget Die Hard. My first real encounter with the tank top myth was 2011, Captain America. I saw it in theaters. Skinny kid goes into a machine. Needle goes in, steam rises, and out steps a demigod, fully formed, in a wife beater. That wasn't just a superhero transformation. That was the moment that I thought, oh, I want to look like that. Not just muscular, legible, admired, respected. The tank top wasn't an accessory, it was a stamp. The boy is now a man. So yeah, this isn't really a review. I'm not going to give these shirts a numbered score or a link to buy. Sign up for my newsletter and you get a free PDF. Some give me the kind of swagger that, I could totally wear this to date night. But they all do something. Something a t-shirt doesn't. Something a hoodie doesn't. When I wear my favorite beater, I feel strong, comfortable, present, like I live here. Like I earned something. But I also know what it's called. I know where it came from. And wearing it anyway isn't a contradiction. It's an invitation to hold a thing that's loaded and not throw it out. To sit in the tension. To mean it, whatever it is. So, should we still call it a wife beater? Depends on what kind of man you want to be. If you say it, you're not going to jail. You're not endorsing violence. But don't be surprised when someone flinches. Don't act like it's just a shirt. You knew what it was called before you put it on. Language is a mirror. You can break it, you can polish it, or you can look into it and say, yeah, That's me. The real problem isn't saying the wrong word. It's pretending the word never meant anything in the first place.